Hi guys, welcome to Gifted Even Conversations. And today I am your host Nikki or Nicole or Chantel. Any of them can work for me. And today we are going to be doing a very, very interesting conversation based on this book here. For the next couple of podcasts, we will be doing conversation based on the book that's there. So get yourself a copy. It's only going for 1,000 bob, and it's really interesting. I have read it. Personally, I think it's really interesting for our parents, teenagers. If you're working with teenagers as a teacher, as a working somewhere where kuna teenagers, get yourself this book. It's a really good book. And I'm going to introduce our guest of the day. I'd introduce Atambe what he does, and then we're going to start about the conversations we're going to be having today.
Great. Thank you for having me, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Once again, my name is Ebenezer. I'm a counseling psychologist. I work with teens, work with parents, work with schools and in the community. And we also do consulting in that area, training, mentorship, and capacity building for youth workers. And it's such an honor and a blessing to bring this conversation to us because we know if we know better, we're able to do better.
Yeah, true. Know better, do better. So we're going to get into the conversations of the day. Today, the first conversation we're going to be talking about is about, we said we're going to be doing teen parenting. But kama kuna maswali uliza, we're going to answer those questions. So let's get into teen parenting. When it comes to parenting, when teenagers are growing up, hiyo inakwanga a lot of identity crises, identity, knowing who they are. So we're going to be talking about teen awareness. So, Eben, as a psychologist, tell us more about how parents should know when their teens are becoming aware and how we know the awareness that they have in themselves is good for who they want to become in the future.
Great. So, teenagehood, as we all know, it's a season of transition. And part of that transition, the aspects of identity, an aspect of self awareness. And I don't know if you have heard people say, huyo hajajijua, huyo anajijua, when they are referring to their teens.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the times when they're talking about anajijua, they are talking about the bad part of it. I don't know if you've heard that.
Really?
Yeah, ati huyo anajijua. Most of the time, it's because probably if she's a girl, like a teen girl, probably she has a few boys like, no,
Okay.
they're chasing up on her, or she like, probably they have started putting on a certain.
So is that supposed to be sarcastic when parents say that?
I don't know, but from my context, I have heard when people say ameanza kujijua, chances are it's like now they have started knowing that they're like a girl, or they're like now a man or a boy. Again, we would get to understand that. But then self-awareness for a teenager means that them getting to understand who they are in terms of their identity, in terms of their value system, in terms of what they want to be. And that's why you remember the big question of who do you want to be that comes at around grade 3. Now at form 3, it's now the height of it. Like who are you? Who do you want to become? And yet subjects the reality of chemistry, the reality of math, the reality of English. So there is a whole lot of shake up in terms of their self-awareness as they are differentiating themselves from their parents to becoming their own person. Yeah.
So how do I know that whoever my teen is becoming or however aware he's becoming is a good process for who he's going to become in future?
So and is when they're able to articulate, be able to communicate who they are. And it starts for as simple as them sharing the likes and dislikes. Mom, I don't like this, or I don't like when my friend. That tells you they have become aware of themselves. Or they're able to contribute in regards to dilemma issues. They can say, so did this in class, and I think that is wrong. That it means they're able to now define their value system. So being able to share the likes and dislike value system, being able to even make decisions, and they can walk you through why they chose whatever they chose. They can tell you, I decided not to go to the market, or we decided today we're not cooking rice because yesterday I think we ate rice, and that's a lot of carbs. You see, you can see that in terms of the way they talk, but also you can see that in terms of how they behave and how they act. And whether they are becoming the young girl, the responsible adult that you would want, you can see through their thought process, through their communication, but also through their action. And you can say, this girl is growing into a woman I would want her to be. This boy is or is not, depending.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked something about value systems. So parents, there are values that parents believe in, and they're like, these are the values that I want my kid to grow up in, that I want my kid to believe in. And when this thing is becoming self-aware, what should a parent do if those values, if the teen's values do not align with the values that the parents want? But it's not like the values are bad. Like, let's talk about, I don't like talking about religion, but let's put it as an example.
Okay.
You grew up in an ACK church, your parents believe in the ACK version, but you have grown up and decided, I want to go to a new church. So as a parent, how do I handle that without crushing my kids' esteem?
Yeah, that's important. I feel like it's important for as we have the contention between values, we're looking at what are the basics. And there is a difference between the cake and the icing on the cake. The cake itself, it's the flour, flour. It is the milk that has the eggs that have gone into that. That makes the cake. But then the icing on the cake is the toppings and everything. And as we talk through values and parents' value vis-a-vis teenagers' value, let's look at what are we contenting with? What are we having conflicts with? Are we having conflicts with the icing on the cake, or we are having conflict with the cake itself? And the example that you have used, not that this girl doesn't want to go to church, for instance, just that they are not preferring your church. So, for instance, you went to SK or Methodist church and things are like, mtaratara, procedural, we go, we bow, we work, and then we go. And then your teenager wants like a hyped kind of a thing. And the church next door is that
the
church.
hypes.
Yeah, they have hype, they have a youth church, and it is, everyone comes with rugged, and it is fun. And they actually tell you, what, mom? I would prefer to go to that church. I feel like for that particular contention, we are contenting about the icing on the cake. Because if the church, they are saying it still teaches the right doctrines and it is still as you want, I feel like that's not like a bad thing to contend with. Just like allow them autonomy, and even probably visit that church if you feel like you're not very sure what they are being taught. So that is when we are discussing the icing of the cake versus the cake. But if it is an issue of the cake itself, like now you are Christian, your kid says, I want to be Muslim. That becomes like a whole shake-up in terms of your values.
Yeah, a very big one.
Yeah, it becomes a very big one. And that's why now your role there is, and of course, at times we get into judging, like why and all that. But we would want first to understand their position. Is it that they have felt something is not off this other side, that's why they want to jump the other side? Get to understand. But also communicate why your family's value system is this.
Okay.
Like communicate why is it important. Probably you have been raised as Christians and this is what we think. Communicate that. And after you have communicated that, the third step is allowing them make a decision. And I know most parents will not allow them to make a decision because it is tough, but eventually they will make a decision. Whether it is delayed decision, they will. They can say, okay, and it's okay for a parent to say, when you are under my roof, we are going to sit down. That will happen, but just know when they're outside your roof, we will not
They're
do
doing
no
other
term, like
things.
no church. They will not go to any church at all. So
that's part of the rebellion.
yes, that now becomes a rebellion. So helping them to understand. And remember, these are conversations that you should have started at a younger age. Understanding why did they go to church. Not just Sunday is an opportunity to go to church. And many value things, around even food, around even let me even now throw the spanner into the works. When value systems around who to marry and not to marry. You remember the conversation around that?
Yes, there are cultures I am not allowed to marry
Yes,
to.
yes.
I don't understand why till date, as old as I am. But I respect that because
Yes.
that was instilled in me from a very young age. Don't marry into this culture because maybe their values do not align with our values. I don't think a person is the values that their culture believe in.
Yes, so and that's why we have to understand, are we contenting on the icing or the cake? Because let me just use that before even proceed, aspect of who to marry. We're talking culture. I feel like culture, yes, it's important, there are things, but then is the person more important than the culture? Of course, the culture forms the person, and the person is part of the culture. But who would you stay with? Would you stay with the culture in your house, or would you stay with the person? You will stay with the person.
Yeah, but the problem is in a lot of our generation, a lot of people, okay, let me say millennials, let me specify. Older millennials
Will
and
stone
older
you.
Gen Z.
Millennials will stone you.
Stone me, but I have a question. Most of those older millennials have taken the culture and incorporated them with themselves to a point where, if that culture does not work, if what they do and what they say have to align with that culture. So you cannot tell me, for example, me, I don't believe. Let me say this: I do believe in 50-50, but I don't believe in 50-50. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, we can help each other pay the bills, but not every time. Time umelemewa, time like the man is down, the girl can pay the bills. But it doesn't have to be always that way. But
Okay.
my problem comes in where you want me to pay the bills, but you also want me to be a housewife. So where am I supposed to be getting money to pay the bills? Because in your culture or in the traditions that you were raised in, you were told that a woman is supposed to stay in the house and help the man in the house. So I don't believe in that culture because that's not how I was raised. But then I get married to somebody who believes in that. Say I'm marrying into a culture. I don't believe in that culture.
And that's why we have said, as you argue and conflict and contend, just ask yourself, are we arguing about the icing on the cake or the cake? And the icing on the cake, I mean, are we talking about the top line or
The
the
things
bottom?
that you can change.
Yes, the things that can. But then there's the root of it. Because if personally I don't believe in someone who is a drunkard, that's the cake. A drunkard who doesn't have my same value system. But then they're coming from my community. And then I marry them because of the icing.
Yes.
They're coming from my community. Then I would still not be happy. So I think for parents, even as we are helping teenagers to think through values and all that, let us be very careful to see, have we communicated what the cake is, the reducible minimums, the things that are important, so that we don't minor in the majors and major in the minors.
Okay.
Yes.
Since tumeenda let me just ask this.
Okay.
Growing up, we were taught that women were supposed to do blah 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 blah, and men were supposed to do blah blah blah. That was something that was instilled in us from a young ages. And the Gen Alphas are being taught different things. Like, the people who are taught different things, told this is not necessary for women, this is not necessary for men. So is it healthy for us as parents to tell our teenagers, men don't do this is work for women don't do this is work for men?
And I think that also speaks to that stage. We call it identity versus role confusion.
Yeah.
So, and role confusion here will also mean, there's a way we've been handed down the role, this is what a man does, but then we have to have the reality of a changing world. But even as a changing world, there are things that don't change.
Like,
and I'm not here to define things that don't change.
I know
but
you define things that don't change.
So things that don't change, one is values. Values don't change. Hard work is hard work. Discipline is discipline. Respect is respect. Love and care for your family is just love and care for your family. But then there are things that would change. For instance, they are like now, culture where a man pays for the house, and what if I'm a single mother? Who should pay for my house? And I'm working and I have a son who is 13 years old.
Me, I should pay for
Yes,
my
I should
house.
pay. So those are changing things and the realities of our time, right?
No,
So
we're talking when a couple is married, both of them are working, and the man wants a housewife. The woman wants to keep the work. So I think that is the cake. To me personally, I think that is a cake. Because the man was raised to know that the woman is supposed to stay in the house and pay the bill and like do the housely duties, or the womanly duties as people like to call them. And men are supposed to go out there and provide. But the culture and everything is changing. So I'm raising a kid. Am I supposed to raise my kid in the notion that a woman is a housewife and a man is the provider? Or am I supposed to raise them with the new culture where anyone can provide and anyone can pay the bills and we can do the 50-50 thing?
Thank you for that. And I would go back to my statement. There are things that change and things that don't change. And I have said values don't change. And let me use, for instance, hard work and responsibility. All right?
Yeah.
If I teach my daughter the aspect of hard work and responsibility, God forbid my girl ends up as a single mother. I taught them values and responsibility and hard work.
Yeah.
She has her degree or whatever, she's working, she has business. Then values and responsibility knows that, then speak to, now that you found yourself in a position where you are raising your kid by yourself, you'll just know that your rent and everything is on you. But even if they grow up and they are having a husband and they're also raising other kids, values and responsibilities remain. That there could be a times where the reality where a husband doesn't have a job. It's a reality of our times. Or you got married, they had no good job, and then AI came and the AI replaced them, right? And it is the reality. If I taught them hard work and responsibility, that value is important rather than me telling them 50-50, 100, 100, 30, 20. And I feel like that is just the icing on the cake. And those are, we can be very sentimental without looking at the principle here. So parents, teach your teenagers the values around everything. Let your boy know that leaving a cup that you have used on the table is irresponsible. It is not a gender issue. It is a responsibility issue. So that when they are at Harvard School, they can be able to wash their own clothes. They can be able to take care of their own thing. They can be able to play with the future kids when the wife is out there. They can be able to come back home and help the wife with cooking. And those are the realities of our times. And I know people can be very people look like angry lions on the social media, but go to their house. These men are very romantic. They are cooking, they are washing dishes, they are doing a lot of things.
And then the same men were telling us to marry the nonchalant.
Yes, and you go on. Please, I would want to tell everyone, do life your way. And that's why I said last time, I personally am doing life with convictions. Build convictions, build the cake that you want for yourself and for your teenager, and let people work with convictions. Because you say, oh, men should not wash dishes. You go to your friend's place, the one who is posting men, hey, he's the one washing dishes. Amekaliwa na si chapati, and it is just that. So parents, let's teach values. Values remain. Hard work remains hard work. Responsibility remains responsibility. Whether our parents came from the husband being 100, them providing 0, or 100 in another domain, someone providing 100 in another domain, that may change with time. But then values are consistent, and that is what keeps our generation. Hard work remains hard work. Respect remains respect. Honesty and integrity remains that. How we apply, then we apply it to different contexts. Yeah.
You said something about teenagers being rebellious. So, what parenting behaviors encourage self-awareness that does not lead to rebellion?
What parenting behaviors
encourages self-awareness that does not lead to rebellion? Because teenagers are rebellious. I was a very rebellious teenager.
You're already labeling them. Restate that to some teenagers.
Okay, some teenagers are very rebellious.
Yes.
I'm not labeling anyone.
Yes. So if you say some, then we're able to pick. Because if we say teenagers, we are saying all, and they are not. I work with teenagers. I have so good teenagers who you're actually more mature than your age, because their responsibility, the way they do things, the way they are responsible, the way they can help you even think about stuff, top notch. Okay. But some are rebellious, and rebellion is coming from a point. I have tried to communicate what I think should be. I have tried to communicate what my wants and needs are, but I'm not getting the response. Okay. No one is understanding my POV, all right? No one is getting why I would want this. And so, let me live a defiance life. And so, from a parent's perspective, it's when you want to be the... If I said it, I said it. You want to be the last stop, the last man standing.
The last say.
Like you're the last say. That's when now teenagers will start rebelling. And that's why we say at around teenagehood, we say make rules with the teenager. Don't make rules for them.
Okay.
At a young age, make rules for them. No. Ukikuja kutoka shule, viatu kwa kona, nguo kwa basket, then do your homework, sleep, eat for them. At teenagehood, make rules with them. After half term is here, what are you supposed to do? What do you think you can do for this half term? They'll be like, oh, I would want to study, probably enjoy, have fun. Or even your parent, rope in what you think also is important. From there, it's like you have an MOU, a memorandum of understanding that for this holiday, we are going to do this. And because it's important to have this MOU so that if you feel someone is going against, you can go refer to the MOU. But if you didn't have that MOU, then it becomes tough to call out the teenager on an issue, or even the teenager to call you out on an issue. When you promise them that they will watch the World Cup from 11 p.m. to 1 p.m. after they have done their homework, and then you refused, they can refer to that MOU. And it could not be necessarily a written MOU, but if you want to be extra, you can go ahead and write that. But rebelliousness is coming from a point that I feel I am not heard, I feel like my voice is not part of this, and it's because rules are made for me, yet I would want rules to be made with me.
So you're telling parents, sit down with that kid mwenyewe, unaona kama bado ni mtoto, make rules together with that child.
Yes. They may not agree to some of the rules you will make, but then help them understand why that rule is important. And we have used the curfew thing. Coming home, we say, come home by 9. Oh, they want to come home by 9, but they are 14. And you're like, I hear you. Why should you want to come home by 9? Mom, like, come to a win-win situation. I feel like coming home at 9, there is a lot of risk. And this city, goons and everything. I feel like that is risky. Personally, as a parent, I would prefer 6. How about that? Hey, mom, 6 tu ndio bashi na kwa imeanza. Okay, can we move it to around 7:30? And you see, at that time, we are making conversation. We are understanding their POV, that bash ndio itakuwa tu imeanza. POV yako ni goons watakuwa tao. And then come to understand, how do we go about it? Then, can we still be secure and still have fun? You see, secure in the sense that, okay, then it means let me have your pin location every time we are. Let me know who you are with in that party. We are ensuring security, but also you stay a little bit, but then just ensure you take care of yourself. And then we come to an agreement. Then 7:30 is a good time for curfew. So we have not gone with 6 p.m., which looks like too early. We have not gone with 9 p.m., which looks like too late. But then everyone understands why this is important. And then from there, if we can now do an MOU, then if someone comes way beyond 7:30 or 8 without explanation and without picking calls, what should we do? Mom, you should take my phone. Mom, you should not. Then let them suggest. Then it becomes that. So that when it comes to next week, when they have gone against the MOU, we can sit down and say, you know what, Nicole, we agreed this. Now,
Give me your phone.
Give me your phone. It's here. But. So when they will be telling their friends, I won't have the phone for the next 1 week, they're like, but we agreed with mom. So they're already knowing that I have played a role for my curfew and my being grounded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling us don't ground kids without having that conversation. You're grounded. Sit down and have that.
They even don't know what grounding is, so you may want to sit down with them and have to explain what grounding is and what is the consequence. At what point are they getting grounded, and so that they are human beings anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how should we as parents create a safe environment for our teenagers to be able to know themselves? I don't know if that's the right word. Because we're talking about self-awareness. To know who they are as a person safely.
So create a safe space at home, communicate. And some of the conversations we are bringing is you to be aware of what is happening psychologically to them, emotionally. They are changing. We talk about the hormonal changes. They want to be with friends. So create that space. Create a room for this conversation. While you're hanging out for coffee, let not everyone be scrolling on their phone. Talk it out. Like, hi, Nikki. Do you have crashes? Like, start talking about that. Just wait.
As old as I am, I cannot sit down and discuss my relationship status. Okay, I can discuss my relationship status with my mom because they created that space for me. But most people I know cannot sit down. I know of a friend of mine, and I'm sorry for using you as an example, who is afraid to tell her mom she's pregnant and she's married. But anaogopa kwa mzazi wake akona mimba. So how do I create a space for my parents? Personally for me, that space was not created for me. Like, I cannot sit down with my mom and discuss, hey, you know what, I have a crush on this person, how should I go about it? That space was not created for me, but I am raising a teenager and I want to create that space for them. How do I do that?
And we will keep reiterating some of the statements we've said here over and over until people get it. We said if you don't have a conversation at 3, forget about a conversation at 13, forget about a conversation at 23. So it is an overhaul, and you could feel like you missed out, but then it starts by the place of you wanting to be interested. Like, for instance, if you have a friend, you have not had a conversation you feel like you're growing apart. If you want to reach out to them, one, you must be interested not want you wanting to sound interesting, right? So if it's been quite some time, I feel like we'll not talk to Nicole. I don't know what's happening in her life. I would call. And the fact that I've made the first move, I'm interested. And when I'm calling, hi Nicole, I'm not calling to say, oh, you know what, I moved out of town. And I'm sounding interesting. But like, hi Nicole, how has your year begun? Not bad. And oh, let me know, what does not bad mean? Like, a few here at work and everything and our family. Oh, okay. Tell me about your son. How is he doing? No, I am interested. And that already starts opening that room. So parents, it may mean sitting down with your daughter, catching up. Catching up to get to know. Like now we are on half-term break. Getting to know how was school. How was school? Like now I was seated in a matatu yesterday and I loved the conversation I was eavesdropping. Like a grade 10 was coming back from school and they were seated with the mom. And the kid was ranting, yapping and venting everything. Sasa kuna domiators doing naito abadea. And the mom was there listening to those like tiny stories. Oh nini, kuna hawa form 4. Sijui kuoga. Like, and that is already, your kid feels like they are you're giving them an audience. From there, they will throw in an issue. But kuna mwalimu sipendi. That's something you want to pick up on. But because you have created a room to just listen in. And they will tell, and actually all the way from town to where they dropped, I wish they continue with the story. Where they dropped off, they were sharing. And you will hear the mom just interject. Like, nini. And they're able to wrap in a bit of story. So are we able to be interested in what is happening in our kids' life? And we said questions and the answers. Ask open-ended questions. How was school? Tell me about your first term in school. Tell me about your sem 1 in campus. Si kurudi kusema hey, pocket money unamaliza within 10 days, msichana utanimaliza. You're already judging. Just tell them, how is it? Hey, mboga was naiva. Like how is it cooking for yourself? Or you eat out? Like, and that is a point of having conversation. So that will help them build self-awareness and even know what is happening to them. But also, I feel like teens also build self-awareness when they are allowed in the other social circles. So their friends at church or in the community or the mosque or their we have this group, they have this clique, they call them the top shotters. I don't know what that means. They'll just give a name.
Top shotters.
I know, don't even think about it. I'm just using that. Like the 6-7s. There could be such a group like the 6-7s. Like, mom, you're hanging out
I'm
with them.
still trying to understand the meaning of that.
I don't. Nicole, you are old. Let's move.
6-7.
Let's move. So they can have those like, no, mom, you're gonna hang out here 6-7s. What are those? Don't like don't like
be over.
don't be like, what is that? Oh yeah, that's a bad group. That's a gang. No. Understand who are part of that. Oh, actually, it's a group of our form 3s who come around from Kabiria. So we meet for coffee. Let them go. That's where they're able to communicate. Who will pay the bill? They start learning organizational skills. Mtu anapanga hiyo meetup. Tutatumia fare gani? Nisimia nani tutatumia nani akona iPhone within our group, tutatumia picha yake. They're already learning some skills within the need. So please don't just get hold of them. And even if church says or school says they'll be going out for, and like you want even to go out to hang out with them because you're being insecure. So ask yourself, as I am holding my kid back at home, not wanting them to go out and express, like yesterday we were at Karura with some ex-candidates. And you will see how the interaction, we played some games, and you can see this one doesn't want to be like defeated. They don't go well with the losing. Yeah, they're competitive. And you're able to pick such lessons. And from there, and I hope the parents who brought their kids had an opportunity to ask them, how did it go? Did you enjoy the fun? So you can create an opportunity at home for self-awareness, but then allowing them to be in their social groups helps them to be able to even interact. That's where leadership is picked. That's where they get to understand how they behave, the interpersonal relationship. That's how they would behave when someone speaks an unkind word to them. They will be able to understand that.
You've said something about being an insecure parent. So how does an insecure parent create a secure space for their children and having to deal with the insecurities when they are parenting and it's not affecting their kids?
Yes, I got you. First is to understand what is the source of your insecurity. is it one that was passed down? You have generational traumas. Could there be generational insecurity? It's like they are saying, right? And is it in terms of the safety of this girl or this boy? And first, is it that I'm not even feeling safe myself? I'm not safe in this family. I'm not safe in this marriage. So I feel my daughter and son, they are not even safe.
Okay.
So understanding your source of insecurity and understanding how does it spill over to this girl. And this is the place of looking at rationally and irrationally dissecting your insecurity. So that if it is for sure, I don't feel safe in this home, probably because of my in-laws, and this could lead to insecurity. That could be no real insecurity. But if it's just something out of the blues, like I don't want my kids to mix with their cousins. Their cousins are we don't. No, it can be.
We
not,
don't. The families. Don't
Yeah, we
get
don't
along.
talk, so that we inherit generational envy and generational hate for no apparent reason. Ask yourself, am I just insecure for the sake of being insecure, or is it substantive?
Okay.
And then if it is, let's go, it's not substantive. If it's not substantive, then allow this girl to experience love. Allow them to experience the extended family, because it is important. Cousins and friends, and it is important. That is who they are. You can deny them access, but then you can't do their DNA not to be part of that family. You get the point? So being able to differentiate, is it substantive insecurity or it's not? If it is substantive, then what can I do about it? What are the realities? And some of these realities, can I share with my daughter or my son age appropriate realities that are happening within this entire family system, because we are part of this entire family system. But then these are the realities. Kwa kina nani wanavutanga bangi, ndio maana sitaki ufanye nini, waendange huko over the holiday. You can visit during family gathering, mnaweza ongea, but you being close to Jonte, it's a no. So your kid already understands why this is happening. But don't say msiende huko, wao ni wabaya. You see, you rope them into the family drama, and they are not understanding. So understand the source, but also what is the impact, and how can you alleviate that impact? How can you raise this kid without even drawing them away from their friends, their families, and even at times this community around the neighborhood, and even church or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So kuna insecure parents and they are overbearing, controlling parents.
Okay.
So we have talked about
At overbearing, controlling.
they are so controlling that it's overbearing.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's not correct English. So we have talked about insecure parents. So let's talk about over-controlling parents. So can over-controlling parents delay a teen's self-awareness process?
Absolutely. That's a good question. Yes. Over-controlling parents, insecure parents, highly insecure parents, then can limit the growth of this kid's self-awareness. We have said there is self-awareness in terms of who I am. There is intrapersonal awareness, the interpersonal skills. Me knowing my emotions, me knowing when I'm sad, when I am happy. Intra within myself. So that's level 1 of awareness, right? And then there is the interpersonal, where I'm able to have interpersonal skills. I'm able to communicate. I'm able to talk it out. I'm able to handle people with care. I'm actually be able to start being a gentleman. So how do I become a gentleman if I don't have a sister in the house to be a gentleman? Like, for instance, I'm the only boy. I don't have another sibling. How do I start learning gentleness? I can learn that from my social circle. If we are hanging out with friends from church or within our 6-7 group, and there is a lady in that group, I can know that tukiingia matimeja, let Nicole sit.
Oh, really? There are men like this?
Let Nicole,
I want to meet one.
let Nicole sit. Me nitasimama. And it plays out. I don't know if you observe teenagers and young kids, you can see mwingine akona hapana pea yule kwanza, and they start learning. But how can they learn such a thing when you have closed them within your house during the entire holiday period? So it means they will miss out on interpersonal skills a lot. And even part of the interpersonal skills in terms of expressing yourself, how do they tell someone no? They can't say no when they are just by themselves in the room. They can say no when they're outside there.
Their friend.
Telling their friends, no, it's already late. my curfew is 7:30 and it is 6:30, I can start running home. So holding your kid so tight doesn't mean you're protecting them from dangers of the world. It just means that you are overstaying with the opportunity for them to learn. And now when you release them, because eventually they will have to leave the nest, whether at 20 or their parents like, now you won't go far away, you just go to the private college near me so that you come back. Okay. And then they are 27, 28, and 30. Now say, as you job hunt, don't go away. Then, but remember, they have not learned the skills. So they are still big babies at 30, at 28, at 27. Big babies, big girls, big boys. And then now, eventually when they leave, probably now they live at 35 when they are getting married and their husbands, they don't know how to treat someone, they don't know how to be kind, they don't know how to take responsibility. If she's a lady, they don't know how to think about the other person, they're just thinking about themselves, me, myself, and I. And please, I would want parents to be able to allow autonomy and responsibility in a very guided space within these teen years, so that when it gets to young adulthood, this young adult can now form their own value system. They can now decide, am I just going to church because my parents used to, or I am going to church because I want to go to church. So I hope that helps to 6, 7, right? To balance. That's
balance.
Yes.
Okay. So umesema mostly autonomy and responsibility comes from letting the children have interpersonal relationships and social circles.
Yes.
The next question is, okay, I think we have finished with the self-awareness, so we are going to go to body image. So for me personally, before we go to body image, let's talk about a bit of self-esteem. So how does self-esteem and self-awareness correlate with each other and build a healthy relationship to become a healthy teenage?
All right. Allow me wrap that into the self-concept, and then we'll break it down to self-esteem and self-awareness.
Okay.
So self-concept, it helps us to understand ourselves in terms of self-awareness. Self-awareness is huge, in terms of emotional awareness, in terms of interpersonal skills, but then self-concept is about your personal belief about who you are, the idea that you have about yourself. And now for teenagers, it's a very big thing for them, their self-concept. One, fun fact, teenagers have an imaginary audience.
What?
Imaginary audience. Every teenager thinks there is someone looking at them, even if there's no one looking at them. And guess who is looking at them? They themselves are looking at themselves. Okay.
Is that not being delusional?
Partly not. I would help you understand that. So the self-concept, psychologists have put it into 4 parts. There is the self-esteem, ideal self, self-image, and body image. And all this, I have realized that the body image, the self-image, the ideal self affects our self-esteem.
Yeah, sure.
So would we start with the body image and then go to these other parts and then see how? So body image is how a teenager and all of us feel about our bodies. It is how you feel about your complexion. It's how you feel about your height, your skin tone, and everything. And while I am facilitating this, I ask teenagers, and I've asked this even to parents, is there a part of your body you feel like God would have done better? And I always hear answers that for some it is height, for some it's skin tone. Personally, I thought I would be a little bit taller, maybe darker.
Personally, I think I'm perfect.
Maybe because you have gotten awareness that there are things you cannot change and there are things you can change. But for a teenager, tell me why I'm the tallest in my class and everyone else calls me tall burger. Tell me why I'm the shortest in my class and everyone feels like I am the auntie to the ants. Sounds good. So all that. So body image, and it affects them. And that's where we have body shaming comes a lot. And that's why the flat tummy drama. And that now brings in teen issues of, the eating disorders, some eating and forcing themselves to puke because they don't want to be big, because being big has a kind of way. And I tell teenagers,
big thighs save lives.
So I tell teenagers, you know what, you are amazing the way you are, and there are things you cannot change. Probably hairstyle you can change, but then now forehead, you may not do anything about that. It is what it is. Probably you can plait some styles that cover that, and
Bangs.
you can do that. So, and that affects a lot of teenagers, and you realize there's body image is $1 million business for women.
True.
From the nails.
I don't do my nails.
Okay.
I'm a natural body.
Okay, from the nails to the makeup to the gels, and I already had someone talk about gels here before we even start this conversation. From the gels, baby hair, drama, and the amount of money people spend on their body image is a lot, and it's both male and female. Men going for cuts every week and doing in it's a lot. But
Men shave their hair every week.
yeah, they are men who do that. So, and it is part of their look.
Killer week.
So, and that's why, and I hope you are doing that from a point of you desire to look good and you feel good about yourself. Not that I want to be appraised, I want to be accepted. Because then if it goes extra, if my body image is coming from external validation, then I will do extra.
I have a question before we even. You're saying men do things for validation.
Not men.
No, I've specifically asked for men because I know women do things for male validation, but I never thought it happens the other way around. That men do things
Whether
for
men or
female.
women, let's say human beings at times do things for validation. That at times you can put on a suit so that people think that you are a very serious guy. But if I'm not doing that because of who I am
I'm as a
personally,
person.
then it becomes a problem. And that's why people not eating because they want a fat time, I have to put on crop top. People going to the gym not because they want to be healthy, it's just because I was told and then it becomes very that's why you start your new year resolutions. By the time it's week 3, you don't even have the money, you are broke as a joke, ready to choke, because it is not even helping. So I hope body image helping the teens to accept that they are well aware, they can be able to keep themselves clean and be able to understand that, and avoiding the social media pressure of this is how a baby girl looks like. And we have that people going to even gluteal augmentation. That's
What?
Gluteal augmentation, that is surgery, to add parts of there, and you cannot see if you're not seeing what I'm doing. So
Wait, there are people who do that?
yes, people.
Msi mko na pesa huku nje.
And it is a lot, to the tune of 50K to just be able to. Anyway, there's a lot of that, and that's why we say help your teenagers to be able to be comfortable in their skin at that age. Let's move to the other self-image. So whereas body image is about the outside, self-image is about attributes. It's about what people tell them you do better. It's about what labels they have given themselves. I'm not good in math. So that's a self-image issue. I'm not good with people. I'm not good with cooking. So that affects them. And that's why if it is math time and they feel like they're not good with math, then they cringe. Then they get an emotion of disappointment, sad, and everything. So self-image. And that's why we said last time, helping your teenager, labeling them does not help. Telling them, you know what, when mjinga kama, it doesn't help. You're actually destroying that, because we will see how body image, self-image then speaks to your self-esteem. And then there is ideal self. Ideal is looking at if things would be better, what do I want to become? It also falls for that place for teenagers. What do I want to become? How much do I want to earn? And that's why you will even go to a teenager's room and you see a picture of a car, Lamborghini, and you're like, you want to drive that in Kenya and we do not have roads. So it has that. So they have the ideal self. They will tell you, I want to earn 6 figures. Okay.
Congratulations.
6 figures, and it is good because that fuels them. They work hard. I want to be a doctor. It is the ideal. It's 10 years down from there. You remember when you were 15, you're like 10 years I'll be married and all that. Right now you're 25. So that is part of the ideal self. And the ideal self, body image and self-esteem, self-image affect your teens' self-esteem. So how they view themselves. If they feel like they're overly tall, if they feel like overly short, they feel like they're overly big, they feel like they are like overly slim or thin. That's a bad word. If they feel like they're overly slim,
Petite.
yeah, then it will affect how they interact. It will affect how they lift their hands in class. And that's why affirming them, helping them to understand that, you know what, if God wanted you tall, he would. But if he wanted, and actually I tell teenagers, your complexion, you didn't do anything to come out the way you wanted. It's actually the female gametes and the male gametes coming together, and you're just a byproduct of something else. So self-esteem then even how they believe. If they are good athletes, they have some good self-esteem because people appraise them, and all of us want to be validated, all of us want to be appreciated. So that is the self-concept, and it's a huge thing for teenagers and self-awareness. And interestingly, I have done that with young adults, and even adults, some of them even still struggle with self-esteem. Kuna watu wanaambia ngoja kwanza nimeze tumbo ndio wapige picha. That's a body image issue.
But the society has raised us to believe there's a perfect body to be a woman. There's a perfect body for a man, you know.
Yes.
So how do I make sure that as much as I'm giving my child the freedom to have the internet and access to the internet, how do I make sure that the values that the society is putting in does not affect my kid and does not affect his or her self-awareness?
Good. And that's why there's the essence of conversations. You having conversations with them, you validating them. Like, when last were you told you're looking good with your parent?
On my birthday? On Sunday.
On Sunday. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
For some of us, whether you are looking or sitting, uko sawa. Unakaa poa au umesimama poa. It is
none of them.
It's none of them. And that's why that validation. And I feel like parents stop at a certain age. Ndio? Unakaa poa. Alafu ikifika
I
teenage.
am gonna say this. There are times, especially when I know, I am really hoping none of my family sees this. There are times, especially when I know I am meeting some of my family members, there are times I will eat to add weight.
Okay.
Ndio nisiende kuambiwa nimekonda. And there are times when I'm meeting specific people, I will lose weight na nisiende kuambiwa nimenona sana. Because there's usually this of umenona unakaa mama. I really hate that sentence. I really hate that sentence. So there are times that I eat to reduce the weight and I eat to add the weight. And I'm an adult. So how do I make sure that when my kid grows up, they don't have to deal with that fear of this family member wants to see me like this family member doesn't want to see me like this?
It's the aspect of one. Let me make a caveat that or a very important notice. If you were to make any observation or make any compliment on a person's body image, I hope it's a positive one. It doesn't help to tell me I am short. So what do? Do I wear heels? If you actually want to tell me I'm short in a very good way, tell me in a way like, you know what? I love your height. Like, it's not like...
So that's tall.
Yes, yeah.
Just
But yes,
you know?
that's a better, because if you and imagine if you're this grown and that affects you. You can imagine a teenager if you're telling them, you know what, now I don't like how you have chubby cheeks.
I like myself thick.
And it can really disturb them. But so I hope that we are done with that. Comments and everyone else, don't just make very...
Before we finish that conversation, you're done. I have a question. So I have heard of stories where teens are body shaming their fellow teens. And where do teens learn this behavior of it's okay to body shame when they are teenagers or when they are kids? So, and how do we avoid that so that it doesn't affect the teenagers that we're bringing up, so that they can be secure teenagers?
At times they learn it from home because they have had a parent trying to correct you, referring to someone else. Wewe unakula utataka kunaona kama, you see. And now the kid has that. Alafu they will go to school and now use that. And that's why we say what you say at home, what you say is important. And we said words are spiritual. You may believe that or not, because we can't take back our words. Once you have said it, and they say our words from our world. Once you have said it, you can't take it back. So that said, then it means that for teenagers, I also tell them when you're having sessions with them, in groups, please, if you are to make any comment about anyone's body, please don't. Just bridle your... Make it a positive. If it's they might be having a big tummy or all that, but please, for heaven's sake, no one should commit suicide because of a statement you said. And you have had cases of people even committing suicide because of a statement. That said, if you feel like your kid is overly getting big or overly getting skinny, help them understand why it's important for them. Could it be because of the risk of lifestyle diseases? All right, and hope you are not preaching wine and drinking water. All right, I just hoping you're not like telling your kid go work out and yourself you work no out. So I hope that you're modeling that, but also helping them to understand why it is important. And remember we said that there is an example my dad uses a lot, and I feel like that helps in terms of pressure. He says if the pressure inside an object, and it's a physics concept, if the pressure inside an object is bigger or greater than the pressure outside, the object is stable. If the pressure inside an
Inside
object
is bigger.
is greater than the pressure outside, the object is stable. But if the pressure outside is greater than the pressure inside, the object is unstable. That's one law of pressure.
I need that in a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, please do. So, helping your kid to build pressure inside, pressure around convictions, pressure about their positive self-concept, pressure about why it is important for you to keep fit, pressure, so that if they go out there, the pressure outside, around social media, around school, around that, then doesn't make your kid unstable and them thinking about little argumentation, them thinking about bleaching and everything, because the pressure inside
Yes, great.
greater than the pressure outside.
Oh, that's a really nice concept for me personally. So as we finish this conversation, I'm gonna ask you, what should, as a parent, if I notice that my kid is struggling with self-esteem and self-awareness, what should I do to make sure they go on the right path of self-esteem and self-awareness without breaking their confidence? Yeah.
And breaking their confidence, you mean?
Okay. Whenever you
Without letting them feel low.
feel low or feel like they are impossible or invisible. Yeah.
So as a parent, again, it goes back to relationship. I hope at this point, by this episode, you are forming a relationship with your kid.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're stuck like trash on a pickup truck, please reach out to us. We have our contacts. We can be able
That's
to
where we
help.
are going next.
We can help to start that, because some of these things you observe, like now low self-esteem, you can observe, and you have had people say, I think I'm an ambivert, and your kid, your parent tells you, what, growing up you were this runny kid, and then it get to a point when you just caved in. It could be that point of identity and self-awareness. Things didn't match. You had an issue with your body image, and then you are not validated. And validated here means no one told you, I understand you, no one helped you out, and then you caved in, and then from there it's low
Became an
self-esteem.
introvert.
You became an introvert for future, and that has even made you lose opportunities because you became that. So observation, as a parent, you can observe this kid has been this way all along, and then when they are even now starting to feel some kind of way around their body, around they don't want to go out, those are teachable moments, or those are moments to pick up on. Those are moments like, oh, this one needs help. Can I touch them to a mentor? Right? Can I touch them to a coach? Can I touch them to a counseling psychologist, so that they're able to work? But then you have to be there. You have to be present. We keep talking about the ministry of presence, being there so that you're able to observe some of these things. Once you observe, communicate love, communicate empathy. You can even share. And we said, if most of our parents, if you go back to when we were teenagers, or even worse, you can even share how you struggled with such an area of their life. And there's nothing that feels good like the feeling of me and you both. Like, yeah, I
went through
yes,
that.
I went through. Communicate, have them even share. It is not abnormal what you're feeling. It's not abnormal when you're feeling sad because you have added weight. Not abnormal you feeling like your kids, your fellows make you feel like you're skinny or that. So from there, you're starting to build, you're putting some deposit inside the inside pressure. So as you do that, with some time, your kid will be able to even now talk about their height, so that when they will even now start calling themselves tall burger, because they're actually very confident in their height. They will have now use their natural body image to some of the skills. I'm tall, let me join basketball. And now I'm joining basketball. I'm doing so well. Then that beats their self-image. So you see, using their body image to call out the positives that they can happen. Oh, I am big and muscular. I'm big, like if it's a boy. Can they go to a gym and become now muscular, like, and all that? Then they can join even rugby. Okay. So they can channel what was negative to something that is very positive.
But as a parent, you have to help them to do that.
Yes, you have to. First, I see that, I relate to that, but then we can walk this journey together with you.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you're winding up this episode, you've said you're a psychologist, you're a mentor, you're a coach. So if someone or a parent or a school or anyone wants to reach out to you, what are your contacts? Maybe I don't know rates.
Oh, okay. Let's mta DM. Anyway, but
Ushaambiwa hivyo.
before we even go to that, I hope this conversation has helped you to be able to understand what is happening in your child's or your teen's life in terms of their growth, you know, their spurt of growth, their self-awareness, why it's important for them to grow with a community. And a community here, I mean grow with fellow teenagers, because we have said it builds interpersonal skills, interpersonal self-awareness. And where there are issues around the self-concepts, you know, ideal self, body image, self-esteem, and self-image, I hope you're able to pick that out as early and be able to support them. And if you feel like you're stuck and you're not able to support them, that's where we come in. And if you go to our website, www.ebenconsultancy.com, you will see a number of programs we have. And actually, we are nursing a baby that we are calling villages.
A what now?
A village. You know, when the common line that it takes a village to raise a child. So we're actually coming up with a model where common parents like me and you are parents, right? And we are friends and we have same value systems. Then can we have support of our children? Let's raise our kids together.
So you create like
A smaller village, and not a WhatsApp group is like just the part of
the part of the communication
channels. But then for this, like now we have village one that is coming up. So for this village one, it is two parents, two families, and both of them have like kids around preteen teens. So they have two, so 4. So for this particular, we will be having monthly conversations or monthly interaction, mentorship, coaching, you know, self-awareness, whatever, with the kids. And then I also have an opportunity to meet with the parents and tell them this is what is not working, this is not what is working. Okay. So together for like quite some period of time.
So if someone wants to join that, they just go to your website?
Yes, so if someone wants to join that, you can reach out like, by the way, I have a group of parents. I feel like we can be village 2. And that. So
you already have village 1?
Yes, we have village 1. So village 1 is, those 2 families are enough for village 1, because we don't want it to be big.
Too big, yeah.
Because we want, and then we want parents that have same values. So that you don't feel like, hey, one is a smoker and the other family doesn't believe in smoking. So we don't want that. So if they are smokers, let's continue smoking content here pamoja. If they are whatever. So that's why. So you can reach out on 0729 440 874, and our numbers again are all over. If you go to social media, if you just search Ebenezer Gift, it will pop up, and we have lots of content going up. And call us to your space. Let us walk and journey with you, because I believe in being proactive. And as a parent, you can be proactive. You don't have to get to the point where your kid is writing a suicide note. That's when they need help. At an early stage, when you feel like their moods has gone down and everything, you can reach out and you're able to support them. So thank you so much. We will be glad to serve you and serve your community.
And like I've said, all the conversations we'll be having are coming from this book. So if you're interested, go to the website, mepewa number. The book is going for 1,000 shillings. Like today's conversation is, I think, part of the chapter 1 topic. It's talking about self-awareness. So you can get this book. It's called Help My Teenager is a Mystery. At 1,000 bob, you can get it, buy it, start reading it, and join in our conversations, ask questions, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And till next time, guys, tunawapenda. Bye.
All right, bye. We'll see you in the next video. All the best, be the best.